Welcome to our channel, History Coins HD. We have some valuable coins for you, so don't spend one of them. So watch our complete video and find your treasure. This coin could make you rich overnight. Number 1 today, we have a fascinating story about one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1971 Kennedy Half Dollar. Now, you might be thinking, wait, 1971? That's just a regular half dollar, right? Well, stick around because this particular coin is anything but ordinary. In fact, one rare variety of this coin has sold for a jaw-dropping amount of money. How much? You'll find out at the end of the video, and trust me, the number will leave you speechless. So, grab a seat, stay with me until the end, and let's dive into the mystery, rarity, and incredible value of the 1971 Kennedy Half Dollar. Now, let's go back a little to understand why this coin even exists. The Kennedy Half Dollar was first minted in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. The nation was in mourning, and the U.S. Mint wanted to honor the beloved president with a coin that symbolized hope, unity, and remembrance. The design was created in record time, featuring Kennedy's profile on the obverse and the presidential seal on the reverse. Originally, the 1964 half dollars were made of 90% silver. However, due to rising silver prices and increased hoarding of these coins, the mint had to make a significant change. From 1965 to 1970, the composition shifted to 40% silver. And then came 1971, a year that marked a new era. The mint completely removed silver from circulation half dollars, switching to a copper-nickel clad composition. That's why the 1971 Kennedy half dollar was supposed to have no silver at all. But here's where things get interesting. A rare mistake occurred at the Denver Mint. Some 1971 Kennedy half dollars were mistakenly struck on leftover 40% silver planchets from the previous year. Yes, you heard that right. Silver planchets that should have been retired in 1970 somehow made their way into the 1971 production line. These rare error coins are what collectors dream about. They look like ordinary coins to the untrained eye, but a closer inspection reveals their true nature and immense value. So, how do you know if you have one of these rare silver 1971 half dollars? Well, there are a few telltale signs. First, the weight. Regular 1971 half dollars weigh around 11.34 grams, but the silver planchet versions weigh closer to 11.5 grams due to the higher silver content. Another clue is the edge of the coin. On a regular clad half dollar, you'll see a distinct copper-colored line. But on these rare silver planchet coins, that copper line is missing, replaced by a uniform silver edge. Now, here's where things get even more exciting. Imagine finding one of these rare coins in your collection. It might look like just another half dollar, something you might use in a vending machine or throw into a jar at home. But in reality, that unassuming coin could be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. Collectors and coin enthusiasts go wild for these kinds of minting errors, especially when silver is involved. The historical significance of the 1971 Kennedy half dollar, combined with its accidental silver composition, makes it a highly sought-after rarity in the numismatic world. Over the years, the prices for these coins have continued to climb, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. Are you ready for the shocking value of this rare error coin? Drumroll, please. One of these extraordinary 1971 Kennedy half dollars, struck on a silver planchet, has sold for an astonishing $70,000 to $75,000 at auction. Yes, that's right, $70,000 to $75,000 for a single half dollar. So, if you have a 1971 Kennedy half dollar lying around, it might be time to give it a second look. Check the weight, inspect the edge, and maybe, just maybe, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and rare treasures, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Who knows? The next rare coin we talk about might be sitting in your collection right now. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and may you find treasure where you least expect it. Number 2, we're uncovering the mystery behind a true hidden gem, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar. Now, this might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but don't let its common appearance fool you. There's a rare version of this coin that has left collectors stunned, and when I tell you the price it sold for, you might want to start digging through your coin collection immediately. So, stick around until the end, because we'll reveal the unbelievable value of this rare half dollar, and trust me, the final price tag will blow your mind. Let's take a step back and talk about the history behind this coin. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy, who had been tragically assassinated just months earlier. Americans embraced the coin not just as currency but as a tribute to a beloved leader. The first year's release was made of 90% silver, and these coins quickly disappeared from circulation as people hoarded them as keepsakes. From 1965 to 1970, the mint reduced the silver content to 40%. But by 1971, rising silver prices and increased demand led to another major shift. The Kennedy half dollar was changed to a copper-nickel clad composition, removing silver entirely from circulating coins. By 1972, the coin was supposed to be a standard copper-nickel clad piece. But here's where things get interesting. At the Denver Mint, where the 1972 D half dollars were produced, a rare and incredible minting error occurred. A small number of these coins were struck on leftover silver planchets from previous years. These planchets were never meant to be used, yet somehow they ended up in the presses and were struck with the 1972 design. This accident created one of the rarest and most sought-after half dollars in U.S. history. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare coins? Well, let me explain. The first thing you should do is check the weight. A normal 1972 D Kennedy half dollar weighs around 11.34 grams. But if you have one struck on a silver planchet, it will weigh closer to 11.5 grams. That tiny difference might not sound like much, but for collectors, it makes a world of difference. Next, take a close look at the edge of the coin. Regular copper-nickel clad half dollars have a distinct, two-tone edge, silver on the outside with a visible copper core. However, the silver planchet coins have a solid, uniform silver edge with no trace of copper. If you notice a consistent silver shine, you might be holding something extraordinary. And don't forget the sound test. If you gently tap the coin against a hard surface or another coin, a silver half dollar produces a clear, high-pitched ring, unlike the dull clink of a regular clad coin. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so it's rare. But how much is it really worth? Well, let me tell you, this isn't just a cool collector's item. It's a numismatic treasure. Over the years, the value of these rare 1972 D silver planchet half dollars has skyrocketed. Collectors across the country are constantly on the lookout for these elusive pieces, and when they do appear at auctions, the bidding wars are intense. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Are you ready to hear just how much this rare coin has sold for? Brace yourself. One of these rare 1972 D Kennedy half dollars, struck on a silver planchet, was sold for an astonishing $65,000 to $70,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that correctly, $65,000 to $70,000 for a single 50-cent coin. Can you imagine finding one of these in your pocket change or an old coin jar? It's the kind of discovery that turns an ordinary day into an unforgettable one. So, if you have any 1972 D Kennedy half dollars lying around, it might be time to give them a second look. Check the weight, inspect the edge, and listen for that distinctive silver ring. Who knows? You might just have a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing coin stories. Number 3, we're diving into the incredible mystery of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that most people overlook but one that has a rare and valuable version worth an unbelievable sum of money. You might think, 1973? Isn't that just another common half dollar? Well, think again. Because a specific variety of this coin has sold for a fortune, and when I reveal the staggering price it reached at auction, you'll want to run and check your coin collection immediately. Stay with me until the end, and you might just discover that you have a small fortune sitting unnoticed in your home. Now, let's go back in time for a moment to understand why the 1973 Kennedy half dollar is so special. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The nation was heartbroken, and the U.S. Mint responded by creating a coin to honor his legacy. The coin's obverse featured a bold, inspiring portrait of Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse showcased the presidential seal, a powerful reminder of Kennedy's enduring impact on the nation. Initially, these coins were made of 90% silver. But as silver prices surged and collectors hoarded these half dollars, the U.S. Mint had to make changes. From 1965 to 1970, the composition was reduced to 40% silver. By 1971, silver was completely removed from circulating half dollars, and the mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. Now, here's where the 1973 coin comes into the spotlight. That year, millions of half dollars were produced, primarily for regular circulation and collector sets. However, something remarkable happened during the minting process. A rare error occurred when a small number of these 1973 Kennedy half dollars were struck on 40% silver planchets that were supposed to have been retired by the mint. Imagine that, a coin that should have been entirely copper nickel but was instead created on a leftover silver planchet from earlier years. This minting anomaly turned what should have been an ordinary coin into one of the rarest and most valuable Kennedy half dollars in existence. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare coins? Don't worry, I've got you covered. First, check the weight. A standard 1973 half dollar weighs about 11.34 grams. But if your coin was struck on a 40% silver planchet, it will weigh closer to 11.5 grams. It might sound like a small difference, but in the world of coin collecting, that tiny variation can mean thousands of dollars. And next, take a close look at the coin's edge. Regular copper nickel clad half dollars have a distinct two-tone edge with a copper core visible in the middle. But the silver planchet coins will have a solid, consistent silver edge with no trace of copper. If your 1973 half dollar has that uninterrupted silver band, you might be holding a rare treasure. And here's a classic trick: the sound test. When you tap a silver coin against a hard surface, it produces a high-pitched, bell-like ring. Clad coins, on the other hand, have a duller, more muted sound. So, if your 1973 half dollar sings like a bell, it might just be one of the few struck on a silver planchet. Now, let's talk about the condition. As with any collectible coin, the state of preservation plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, without scratches, dents, or signs of wear, fetch significantly higher prices. If you happen to have one of these rare silver 1973 Kennedy half dollars in mint condition, you could be looking at life-changing money. Speaking of value, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. Over the years, collectors have been willing to pay astonishing sums for these rare coins, especially when they appear at major auctions. And when a certified, high-grade 1973 Kennedy half dollar struck on a silver planchet went under the hammer, it didn't just sell for a high price, it shattered expectations. Are you ready for the big reveal? One of these extraordinary 1973 Kennedy half dollars, produced by mistake on a 40% silver planchet, was sold for an incredible $60,000 to $65,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $60,000 to $65,000 for a single half dollar that you might mistake for loose change. Imagine finding one of these in your collection. What would you do with that kind of money? It's proof that numismatic treasures can turn up in the most unexpected places. So, before you dismiss that old half dollar in your piggy bank, take a closer look. Weigh it, examine the edge, and give it a sound test. You never know, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. Thank you for joining me today on this incredible coin adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more stories of rare and valuable coins. Number 4, we've got a truly fascinating story to share about a coin that seems ordinary at first glance but can actually be worth an unbelievable amount of money. We're talking about the 1981 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that most people would dismiss as pocket change, but a rare version of this coin has sold for an astonishing sum at auction. Stick with me until the end because the value of this particular coin will leave you absolutely shocked. Let's dive into the story behind this remarkable piece of American coinage. The Kennedy half dollar has been an iconic part of U.S. currency since its introduction in 1964. It was created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. Americans were heartbroken, and the nation came together to honor him with a coin that featured his striking profile on the obverse side, a symbol of hope, unity, and the enduring American spirit. The original 1964 Kennedy half dollars were made of 90% silver, but due to widespread hoarding, the mint reduced the silver content to 40% from 1965 to 1970. By 1971, the coin was struck entirely in copper nickel for general circulation. And that's the composition you'll find in the 1981 version. But here's where it gets interesting. The year 1981 was relatively unremarkable for half-dollar production until collectors started noticing something unusual decades later. Some of the 1981 Kennedy half dollars exhibited characteristics that set them apart from the ordinary ones minted that year. What makes these rare 1981 half dollars so special? During the minting process, a small number of these coins were struck with proof-like dies. These dies, intended for high-quality collector coins, were mistakenly used for regular circulation coins at the Philadelphia Mint. As a result, some of these 1981 Kennedy half dollars have an unusually sharp, well-defined strike and a reflective, mirror-like surface that shouldn't be present on regular business strike coins. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare coins? Let me walk you through the key details you need to look for. First, find the mint mark. The 1981 half dollar was minted in Philadelphia, so it should have a small letter P just above the year on the obverse side of the coin. If you see that P, you're on the right track. Next, inspect the coin's surface closely. If you notice that the background fields are particularly shiny, almost like a mirror, while Kennedy's profile has a frosted, three-dimensional look, you might have stumbled upon one of these rare proof-like errors. The mint accidentally used dies with a special polish, giving these coins a strikingly different appearance from the dull, matte finish typical of regular circulation half dollars. Another crucial detail is the level of detail in Kennedy's hair. On regular 1981 half dollars, the hairlines are less defined and somewhat flat. But on these rare coins, the hair appears sharp, with crisp, distinct lines. The difference is subtle but unmistakable if you know what to look for. And now, let's talk about the condition. Like most rare coins, the value of the 1981 Kennedy half dollar skyrockets if it's in exceptional condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins with minimal wear, strong luster, and no significant scratches or marks. Coins graded as MS65 or higher can command jaw-dropping prices, especially if they display the proof-like qualities we've just discussed. But how did these rare coins end up in circulation in the first place? Well, coin production is a complex and fast-paced process. Dies intended for proof coinage occasionally get mixed into the regular production lines, resulting in these rare, high-detail strikes appearing in everyday circulation. The 1981 Kennedy half dollars with these unusual characteristics went unnoticed for years because, without the context of a collector's eye, they simply blended in with the rest of the circulating coins. It's only in recent years that the true value of these rare coins has come to light, as collectors and auction houses have begun to recognize their significance. So, how much are these rare coins worth today? Here's the moment you've been waiting for. One of these extraordinary 1981 Kennedy half dollars, struck with proof-like detail and preserved in excellent condition, was sold at a major auction for an astounding $55,000 to $60,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $55,000 to $60,000 for a coin that looks like ordinary pocket change to the untrained eye. Imagine that, a 50-cent piece that could be worth enough to buy a new car or take an unforgettable vacation. And it might be sitting unnoticed in a jar of spare change or tucked away in an old coin collection. So, before you dismiss that pile of coins on your dresser, take a moment to examine any 1981 Kennedy half dollars you come across. Look for the sharp details, the reflective surfaces, and that distinctive proof-like appearance. You never know, you might be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible coin journey. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to your channel name for more fascinating stories about rare and valuable coins. Number 5, we're talking about a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but has a surprising secret. It's the 1983 Kennedy half dollar, and trust me, this is one coin you don't want to overlook. Why? Because a rare version of this coin has sold for an absolutely unbelievable price at auction. And when I reveal just how much it went for, you'll be rushing to check your old coin jars and collections. So, stick around until the end to find out the mind-blowing value of this half dollar. It's a number that could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. And now, let's take a journey into the history of this fascinating coin. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, created as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. The nation was in mourning, and the U.S. Mint moved swiftly to honor his legacy. The coin's design, crafted by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, was completed in record time, featuring Kennedy's confident, forward-looking profile on the obverse and the majestic presidential seal on the reverse. The public immediately embraced the coin, and millions of Americans kept them as mementos rather than spending them. Initially, the half dollar was made of 90% silver, but due to hoarding and rising silver prices, the composition was changed to 40% silver from 1965 to 1970. By 1971, silver was removed entirely, and the half dollar was struck with a copper-nickel clad composition, which continued through 1983. Now, the 1983 Kennedy half dollar may seem like just another clad coin, but something unusual happened during its production at the Philadelphia Mint. And that's where things get interesting. In 1983, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of half dollars, but among these common coins, a small number of rare error coins emerged, coins that collectors today are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for. These particular half dollars were struck with an unusual level of detail, a stronger than usual strike that gave the design sharper lines and more pronounced features. This occurred when proof-like dies, which were intended for special collector sets, were accidentally used on regular circulation coins, but that's not all. There's another factor that makes the 1983 Kennedy Half Dollar exceptionally rare and valuable: the lack of widespread coin saving that year. In 1983, there were no official mint sets produced for collectors. As a result, few people thought to set aside these coins in pristine condition. Most of them went straight into circulation, experiencing wear and tear almost immediately. That combination, a rare proof-like strike and the scarcity of high-quality examples, turned the 1983 Kennedy Half Dollar into a numismatic treasure. And now, let's get into how you can identify one of these rare coins. The first thing you want to look for is the mint mark. On the obverse of the coin, just above the date, you'll find a small letter P, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. If you have a 1983 Kennedy Half Dollar without that mint mark, you're probably looking at a different variety. But if the P is there, keep going with the inspection. Next, check the level of detail. The hairlines in Kennedy's portrait should appear unusually sharp and well-defined, much more detailed than on a regular circulation strike. If Kennedy's hair has clear, crisp lines instead of the typical softer appearance, you might have one of these rare proof-like strikes. The next step is to examine the fields, or the flat areas of the coin. If you notice a mirror-like, reflective surface combined with frosted details, a quality typically reserved for proof coins, you could be looking at a rare gem. Now, here's another important factor: condition. Coins with minimal wear are far more valuable to collectors. If your coin has full luster, sharp details, and no signs of damage, it could be worth significantly more than a worn example. And speaking of value, let's talk numbers. Over the years, these rare 1983 Kennedy Half Dollars have captured the attention of collectors across the country. With their unusual strike, historical significance, and the fact that so few high-quality examples were saved, they've become a hot commodity at coin shows and auctions alike. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. One of these exceptionally rare 1983 Kennedy Half Dollars, with its strong strike and near-proof appearance, was sold at auction for an astonishing $50,000 to $55,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 to $55,000 for a coin. That most people wouldn't think twice about if they saw it in their spare change. Imagine that. A 50-cent coin that could buy you a brand new car or even serve as a down payment on a house. And it might be sitting in a coin jar right now, waiting to be discovered. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your 1983 Kennedy Half Dollars. Look for that sharp detail, the proof-like finish, and, of course, that P mint mark. Who knows? You might be the next lucky collector to uncover a hidden fortune. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin, please hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss another story about the hidden treasures of American coins.